Somewhere in your kitchen right now, there are two spices sitting quietly in your cabinet that have been used as medicine for longer than most civilizations have existed. Not as flavor, not as seasoning, as actual medicine. And when you combine them in a very specific way and drink them on an empty stomach, something starts to happen inside your body that most people never expect. Some of those changes are remarkable. Some of them you will feel within days. But one of them, and I want to be very clear about this up front, one of them can become genuinely dangerous if you are not paying attention. I am going to walk you through every single thing this combination does inside your body in the exact order you need to hear it. And I promise you, by the time we get to the last one, you will understand why people have been reaching for cloves and cinnamon for thousands of years without a single piece of modern research to guide them. They just knew. And now, so will you. What makes this story so fascinating is that these spices earned their reputation long before modern science ever arrived to explain them, long before researchers could isolate active compounds, long before anyone could measure antioxidants or inflammation markers. People simply paid attention. They noticed what happened when these spices became part of daily life. They noticed how certain discomforts seemed to fade. They noticed how some people consistently felt better than others. And those observations survived generation after generation because the experience was difficult to ignore. Let us start with something almost everyone deals with, but almost nobody connects to the right cause: your gut. Think about the last time you felt genuinely comfortable after a meal. Not stuffed, not bloated, not like you needed to lie down and wait for your stomach to catch up with you. For most people, that comfortable feeling is rare. The bloating after meals, the heaviness that lingers for hours, the sluggish feeling that makes you want to do nothing, that is not normal, even though it has become normal for a lot of people. Many people spend years assuming that digestive discomfort is simply part of getting older. They accept the bloating, they accept the heaviness, they accept the afternoon fatigue that follows a meal, but acceptance does not make something normal. Very often, it simply means a problem has been present for so long that it starts to feel familiar. Cloves support the production of digestive enzymes, the compounds your body needs to actually break down and process what you eat. Cinnamon works from a different angle, helping to calm irritation along the gut lining that can slow everything down. Together, they create an internal environment where your digestive system is actually able to function the way it was designed to. And some people notice this shift within just the first few days of drinking this combination consistently in the morning. But here is the part that most people completely skip over, and it is the part that actually matters most. When your gut is working properly, everything else in your body improves along with it. Your ability to absorb nutrients from food goes up. Your energy levels change. Because your gut is connected to your brain, your immune system, and more of your body's core functions than most people realize. Researchers sometimes refer to the gut as a second brain, not because it thinks, but because of how deeply connected it is to the rest of the body. Signals travel constantly between the digestive system and the nervous system. When one struggles, the other often feels the effects. Fix the gut, and you start fixing everything downstream from it. The mistake most people make is drinking this after a heavy meal and expecting instant relief. That is not how this works. Empty stomach, morning before food. That is when this combination does what it is actually supposed to do. Now let us talk about something you probably think about more than you admit: your breath and your mouth. Cloves contain a compound called eugenol. Eugenol is one of the most powerful natural antiseptics found in any plant on Earth. Dentists have used it for over a century in various treatments because of how effective it is. Cinnamon contains cinnamaldehyde, another compound that bacteria genuinely struggle to survive around. When these two compounds meet inside your mouth while you are drinking this warm water, something interesting happens. The bacteria responsible for bad breath, the ones hiding along your gum line, coating your tongue, and settling between your teeth, they start losing their grip. The environment becomes hostile for them, and this matters because bad breath is rarely just about food. Most of the time, it is about bacteria. It is about colonies of microorganisms finding comfortable places to grow and multiply. If the environment changes, their ability to thrive changes too. Cultures across Asia and the Middle East were using cloves and cinnamon for oral health centuries before modern dentistry was even a concept. Many people notice that their mouth feels cleaner throughout the morning. The stale taste that often appears after sleep becomes less noticeable. Their gums feel calmer. Their breath stays fresher for longer periods of time. These may sound like small changes, but they are often the first signs that the environment inside the mouth is beginning to shift. And what makes that especially important is that oral health does not stay in the mouth. The health of your gums and teeth influences inflammation throughout the body. Problems that begin in the mouth often ripple outward into systems people never expect. That means improving oral health is not just about confidence or comfort. It is about supporting the body as a whole. And we are still only at the beginning, because the next thing this combination may influence is one of the biggest hidden drivers of discomfort, fatigue, stiffness, and age-related decline. Inflammation, the slow, silent kind that builds up year after year without announcing itself until one day the effects become impossible to ignore. Moving further into what this combination does, let us talk about your immune system, because this is where things get genuinely impressive. Cloves hold the #1 ranking among all spices in antioxidant content, not top 5, not top 3, #1. And cinnamon is not far behind. When you combine them and drink them in warm water, you are sending a concentrated wave of antioxidant compounds into your body. That matters because your body is fighting a battle every single day that you never see. Not always enough to make you feel sick immediately, but enough to create small amounts of damage that accumulate over time. Left unchecked, that damage begins to add up year after year. These compounds go after free radicals, the unstable molecules that damage your cells, accelerate the aging process, and gradually wear down your immune system over time. Free radicals are constantly being produced inside the body, and while your system is designed to handle them, modern life often creates more of them than the body can comfortably manage on its own. From everything modern life throws at it, most people never give their immune system any real support. They wait until symptoms appear. They wait until they feel run down, exhausted, or unable to shake a cold. But by the time you notice those things, your immune system has already been working overtime for days or even weeks. This combination is what support looks like before the sickness arrives. It is daily backup for a system that is working constantly and silently on your behalf. Whether you notice it or not, your immune system is active every hour of every day. It identifies threats, repairs damage, clears away harmful cells, and helps keep your body functioning the way it should. The remarkable thing is that most of this work happens without you ever feeling it. You rarely wake up and think about your immune system when it is doing its job correctly. You only notice it when something goes wrong. That is why daily support matters. Not because it creates some dramatic overnight transformation, but because it helps maintain a system that protects you every single day of your life. Here is one that genuinely surprised me when I first looked into it. Blood sugar. I did not expect two spices to work on the same problem from completely different biological angles, but that is exactly what happens. Cinnamon has been studied specifically for its ability to support insulin sensitivity, meaning it may help your body use insulin more efficiently, which is the hormone responsible for managing glucose in your blood. Cloves contain separate compounds that may help regulate how your body processes glucose on their own. What makes this especially interesting is that these spices are not simply doing the exact same thing. They appear to support blood sugar regulation through different pathways, which is one reason this combination has attracted so much attention over the years. Together, the effect on blood sugar stability may be significant. More calm, even energy across the day. Many people do not realize how much unstable blood sugar can affect the way they feel. Those fluctuations can influence everything from concentration to mood to overall energy levels. When blood sugar remains more stable, the day often feels different, less dramatic, less like a roller coaster. There are fewer sudden highs and fewer uncomfortable lows. Instead, energy tends to feel more predictable and easier to rely on. But this is also where I need to stop and be completely direct with you. If you are currently taking medication for blood sugar or diabetes, adding this combination without speaking to your doctor first could push your glucose levels too low. In serious cases, it can escalate into something that requires immediate medical attention. If you are on medication, speak with your doctor before you start this. No exceptions, not optional. Now we move into territory that most people never think about until something goes seriously wrong. Your liver. Your liver processes everything that enters your body. It works without rest and without complaint, right up until the point where it cannot anymore. Think about how extraordinary that responsibility really is. Day after day, year after year, your liver is filtering, processing, converting, storing, and breaking down countless substances that pass through your system. It performs hundreds of different functions, many of them essential for survival, and it does all of this quietly in the background. Most people can go decades without giving their liver a second thought, not because it is unimportant, but because it is so reliable. Eugenol from cloves and protective compounds found in cinnamon may support liver cell repair and help reduce the oxidative stress that accumulates in liver tissue over time. Oxidative stress is one of the major pressures that liver cells face throughout life, particularly in a world where chronic stress have become so common. This is not a cure. This is not a replacement for medical treatment if your liver is already compromised. What it is quiet, consistent daily support for one of the most important and most neglected organs in your body. Support is the key word here, not treatment, not reversal. Support, most people only start thinking about their liver when something has already gone wrong, when a doctor points out abnormal results, when symptoms begin to appear, when years of neglect finally become impossible to ignore. This is the kind of thing you do before that happens. Because protecting an organ before it becomes a problem is always easier than trying to repair the damage afterward. And when it comes to the liver, one of the hardest working organs in the entire body, that kind of daily support can be far more valuable than most people realize. Your skin is next, and this connection is one that surprises people every time. Dull skin. Breakouts that keep returning no matter what product you try. Redness that just will not settle. Most people spend money attacking these problems from the outside with creams and serums and treatments. But your skin is a reflection of what is happening inside your body. That is the part people often overlook. Your skin is not isolated from the rest of you. It is connected to everything. What is happening in your digestive system? What is happening with inflammation? What is happening with your stress levels? What is happening with the quality of your sleep? All of these things eventually show up on your skin in one way or another. These things show up on your face. They show up in the mirror every morning. When you start addressing those root causes consistently, some people begin to notice real shifts. Skin that looks clearer, color that looks more even. That tired, grayish tone that has been sitting on your face for months starts to lift. It is not instant. It is not guaranteed for everyone. But the pattern in people who use this combination regularly is genuinely hard to ignore. And perhaps the reason it surprises people so much is because they expect skin improvements to come from something they apply to their face. They do not expect improvements to begin with something they drink in the morning. Yet the body rarely works in isolated compartments. Improvements inside the body often create visible improvements outside of it. And now we arrive at the last point, the one I have been building toward this entire time, because if there is one thing I want you to walk away understanding, it is this. Chronic inflammation. Silent, hidden, it gives you no obvious signal, no clear announcement. It just exists inside your body, quietly, for months or years, slowly breaking things down from the inside. Most people imagine health problems arriving suddenly, one day healthy, the next day sick, but many of the conditions people struggle with later in life begin long before symptoms appear. They develop quietly, they develop gradually, they develop while everything still seems normal on the surface. The joint pain that never fully resolves. The fatigue that sleep does not fix. The body that feels a decade older than it should. The weight that refuses to move no matter how carefully you eat. Underneath most of these things, chronic inflammation is sitting there, not always as the only cause, but often as part of the story. It creates an environment where the body struggles to recover. It slows repair. It increases wear and tear. It quietly influences system after system until the effects become impossible to ignore. Cloves are among the most potent anti-inflammatory spices ever studied. Cinnamon targets some of the same inflammatory pathways through completely different mechanisms. When you bring them together, you are not simply adding one anti-inflammatory effect to another. You are creating something that works on inflammation from multiple directions simultaneously, and that distinction matters enormously. The two spices are not identical. They contribute different compounds and different mechanisms that work alongside one another. If you feel any nausea or stomach irritation, use fewer cloves or take a day off. Your body will communicate with you if something is not sitting right. The skill is learning to listen to it, because that may be the biggest lesson hidden inside all of this. Not just learning about cloves, not just learning about cinnamon, learning to pay attention to the signals your body sends every day. Those signals are there. The question is whether we are listening.